Now that he was in Cocaine City, Rupert had never more longed for a line to put him in carnival mood, to carry him through the interview ahead. His longing increased a moment later when the door was unlocked and creaked open a few inches, and he had a sudden vision that Robbie Coltrane had got in on the act again. A massive nun, like a superannuated orangutan, with tiny suspicious eyes disappearing into fat, a beard and hairy warts bristling disapproval, demanded what they wanted. She then insisted on seeing their passports, and looked as though she would infinitely rather have frisked Taggie than Rupert, before grudgingly allowing them in. By contrast, the Mother Superior, Maria Immaculata, was femininity and charm itself. She had a round, almost childlike face, like a three-quarters moon, smiling slanting brown eyes, and a cherished olive complexion set off by a very white linen wimple. As she moved forward with a rustle of black silk, the pale hand she held out to Rupert and Taggie was soft and slightly greasy from a recent application of hand cream. Mother Maria Immaculata believed you brought more comfort to the poor and suffering if you looked attractive. It was the same in her office. Crimson bougainvillea rioted round the windows outside. Frescoes and wood carvings decorated the white walls of her office. On her shiny dark desk, which seemed to breathe beeswax, beside a silver vase of blue hibiscus flowers, lay the report of Rupert's and Taggie's marriage, drawn up by English social workers. But Maria Immaculata did not set much store by gringo gobbledygook. More importantly, Rupert and Taggie had come with an excellent recommendation from the Cardinal, who was a friend of Declan O'Hara, Rupert's partner, whose television interviews were transmitted worldwide. Even the Pope, who was evidently writing a book and might want to promote it on Declan's programme one day, had put in a good word. Anyway, Maria Immaculata preferred to make up her own mind. And then Sister Mercedes, who acted as the convent Rottweiler, had helped matters greatly by bringing in this beautiful couple. The man, as blonde, tall, handsome and proud as El Dorado himself, and his wife, as deathly pale, slender and quivering as a eucalyptus tree in an earthquake, and whose eyes were as silver grey as the eucalyptus leaves themselves. Taggie was clutching a litre of duty-free brandy, a vast bottle of Joy, a British Airways teddy bear wearing goggles and a flying jacket, and a white silk tasselled shawl decorated with brilliantly coloured birds of paradise. "For you," she stammered, dropping them on Mother Immaculata's desk and nearly knocking over the vase of hibiscus, if Rupert, with his lightning reflexes, hadn't whisked it to the safety of a side table. "I hope you don't mind us barging in, straight from the airport, but we were so longing." Taggie's voice faltered. "Timeo Danaus," thought Sister Mercedes grimly. She spent her life pouring cold water on the romantic enthusiasms of Maria Immaculata, who was now lovingly fingering the white shawl. "Dear child, you shouldn't have spoilt us." "They will do for a raffle," said Sister Mercedes firmly. Maria Immaculata sighed. "Perhaps you could arrange some tea, Sister Mercedes. Sit down." She smiled at Rupert and Taggie and pointed at two very hard, straight-backed wooden chairs. "You must be tired after such a journey." "Not when you've been travelling as long as we have," said Rupert, thinking of the wretched years of miscarriages and painful tests and operations, the trailing from one specialist to another, not to mention the humiliation of the endless KGB-style interrogations by social workers. "Are you capable of satisfying your young wife, Mr. Campbell-Black? Or would you be prepared to take on an older child, one perhaps that was coloured, abused, or mentally and physically handicapped?" To which Rupert had snapped back, "No,